That is the most heavenly flavor in the world, a real tomato. I was amazed at how many young people didn't like tomatoes, and I couldn't figure that out, and it finally dawned on me. They've been eating these styrofoam plastic things. Now, none of us would like tomatoes either if that's the only thing we'd ever had.
So, what makes a summer garden tomato taste so much better than a store-bought one? I'm Dr. Howard Conyers with another episode of Nourish. I'm here with my friend, legendary seed saver and farmer, John Kuykendall, to talk tomatoes.
Hey, good afternoon.
How you doing, John?
Wonderful, wonderful.
Thank you for coming down to Louisiana.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Rare opportunity.
Anytime you can preach the tomato gospel.
Tomato gospel.
Have you raised tomatoes?
Yes, I grew up on a farm.
Yeah. Was this in South Carolina?
This is in South Carolina, though. We used to do something with tomatoes during the summer. We used to actually stew tomatoes down and put it in with okra.
Oh gosh, that's a wonderful dish. It was usually browning up some onions and garlic, stewing the okra and the tomatoes with it. Sometimes a little hot pepper to spice it up some, and it was good served on rice.
Or cornbread.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite summertime dishes.
And it's simple, it's easy.
It's simple.
It's so good too.
John has some unique thoughts on the kind of commercial tomato you might find in the store.
Look how beautiful it is. Perfect in shape. Beautiful sheen to it. But there's only one problem. No flavor. No taste whatsoever. However, there's one group of people that do love these. That's your baseball teams. When they're in spring training, they'll use those for batting practice. You couldn't put a scratch on one, a dent, or anything else.
So we decided to put John's theory about store-bought tomatoes to the test. So I brought this baseball bat
Just to prove a point.
Just to prove a point. My baseball skills, I don't know, they question them. I'm an engineer, but we don't give it a whirl.
Might knock some sense into me. There she goes. Look at there, not even a scratch. No evidence at all. Not fit to eat.
How about you give it a try?
Let's see. I'm just trying to get on base any way I can.
That was nice. You got pretty good form there.
For somebody 100 years old.
So, how did tomatoes go from a delicious summer treat to the big league? Long story. One thing I noticed about these tomatoes, John, correct me if I'm wrong, this is almost perfectly round, but these are really ugly. The ugly tomatoes taste the best though.
They do, yeah. A good tomato in the summertime, those are gonna be beautiful big red tomatoes. They'll have that wonderful rich flavored tomato, and you can't get that anywhere in the store. If you wanna have that tomato, you gotta grow it yourself.
You know how I like my tomatoes, John?
How's that?
I like mine with just salt.
Me too. Really, that's all you need for tomato tasting. A good cutting board, a sharp knife, and some sea salt if you want it.
Most commercial tomatoes are picked early, green, long before they sun ripen and produce that distinctive tomato taste.
Those store-bought tomatoes haven't had the time in the field. They've been robbed at a young age.
Once feared as poisonous and nicknamed love apples, tomatoes weren't always mostly red or round.
See, these things are bred to be so that, you know, when Ken and Barbie go shopping, they see this perfect little
round
tomato. Feel how hard the skin of that thing is. I mean, they're engineered for mechanical harvesting, shipping, and shelf life. In other words, they'll last a long time. Beautiful, beautiful tomato. In the beauty contest, this one will win. If you were blindfolded, you wouldn't know what it was.
Science revolutionized agriculture. In the case of tomatoes, it boosted productivity, but it killed the flavor. In the 1950s, scientists invented a machine that changed everything, a mechanical tomato picker. Around the same time, growers were breeding tomatoes with uniform shape and thicker skins that could take machine harvesting, and ones that could magically turn red all at once.
They're pretty. I mean,
they're pretty. They're definitely pretty.
They're smooth. However, looks can be deceiving.
These genetic modifications turned off genes that increase acidity and sugar production in tomatoes that made them taste good, and aroma genes that made them smell so delicious.
These modern varieties, everything, the flavor's been bred out, the acidic content has been diminished.
Did you know many warehouse tomatoes are gassed with ethylene, a hormone they normally produce themselves, so that they turn red at the same time? And some varieties are bred to produce a rose-smelling compound found in fruits and flowers, so they are more pleasing to your nose.
Now this is one of your old types.
The ugliest, best tasting tomato ever.
Best tasting tomato they ever had. Some of your better ones have a great balance between the sugar content, a sweet flavor, and acidic. Remember, there's just numerous varieties of these old ones.
Old ones with rich histories and names like the Mortgage Lifter, the Purple Cherokee, Black Beauty, and the famous Creole, celebrated in Louisiana with its own festival.
The Creole tomato is legendary, right? It's like the Loch Ness Monster or some kind of mythical creature almost. Growers in Plaquemine and St. Bernard Parish always grew what we called Creole tomatoes. Their soil is rich, it's very alluvial, has nice flavor, and there is truth to that. The soil sometimes will change the flavor, so people call that the terroir, or the way the soil influences the flavor of the produce. And to this day, the St. Bernard and the Plaquemine farmers are the only Creole growers in Louisiana. When you talk to them, everybody else is just a big fat liar.
So if I had a tomato sandwich, or a mater sandwich, as some people like to say,
Mater sandwich.
with a little bit of mayo,
Yeah.
good fresh white bread. And being a whole hog man myself, I like to add a little bacon to this southern staple. It's nothing better, right? A little bit of salt and pepper.
Yeah, you almost have to stand over the sink to eat it. It just runs
All the
like,
juice runs out.
runs like a waterfall. We're in a renaissance now. This isn't a fad. If you eat this real tomato here, and then somebody hands you this to eat, it's not too much. There's not too much rocket science involved. You're going to go back to a real tomato, and so that people are rediscovering food, real food.
Real food,
And
it's not rocket science either, right?
no, it isn't. It's pretty simple.
More and more people are growing these older varieties to protect them from extinction.
For something to survive, it's got to be used. And it's
All right,
the same
well-
with all these crops.
Why is seed saving important?
I mean, we're proving a point sitting right here at this table enjoying these. We have lost somewhere upwards of 94% of what was available over 100 years ago.
With these seeds, as farming and sharecropping left, agriculture had a bad taste in a lot of young people and families, and people moved away from the farms. And with that, we lost these type seeds.
Lost a lot of things,
Lost a lot of things. Do you think there's chance that some of these things still exist, even though they may not be within the seed saving community?
Yes, I think because we're always finding new things.
Saving heirloom seeds is saving family history.
In other words, I come to you, your family has lived in South Carolina. Chances are you've got a lot of seeds that were handed down through the family. Photographs we pass along and heirlooms. And these are living heirlooms, and they link people. Times of celebration, tradition. Everybody's waking up to the value of these. That's your living history, it's your heritage.
That's important.
Peas came from Africa, Niger River Basin in Africa, genetic homeland of field peas. Your okra comes from Africa. A lot of these things that we've just assimilated into life, and nobody thinks of where it came from. But we're on the rebound.
We're on the rebound. It's coming back. We heard it from a legend. It's coming back. We should always talk to our elders and gain some insight.
That's what I say. I was just visited today with a buddy of mine that's 97 years old.
Okay, with all due respect to our elders, not everyone is a gardener, so hopefully you have a farmer's market near you, because there are so many ways to enjoy fresh garden tomatoes, even a simple salad.
That good tomato, it's meant to go from your back patch garden right to your dinner table and be eaten. It's meant to be enjoyed right where it was
Enjoyed.
grown.
With people,
Yes,
that's what it's all about.
with tradition, heritage, history, family gathering, all those great elements that go into spicing up a meal.
So,
This for batting, this for eating.
this week,
We're going to be in good shape.
we'll be in good shape. I got a legend here with me. I appreciate you coming. So how do you enjoy garden fresh tomatoes? And do you know of any heirloom seeds that need saving? Share information below and subscribe to Nourish.
Did you sit out on the front porch of the family and
Yes.
sit around and shell things, butter beans or
With
peas?
that white porcelain tub
Yes, yes.
about this thick. I used to hate it though, but the next day the meal was so delicious.
Oh gosh, it made it worthwhile.
It made it worthwhile. This program is made possible by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.